New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello, and welcome to Rockin the Love.
We are Gil and
Robyn. As you can, if you know Gil, you know he just got caught in a technical moment, which was why he only went on a first name basis because he had to explore what needed to shift on his screen. But we are Robyn and Gil Olmstead, and we are here with you today, Rockin the Love, which is what we do every Wednesday, almost at 1 o'clock Mountain Time.
4 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time,
and 2 o'clock Central Time.
All right.
There you go.
That's
if you're
so
in
good.
another country, that would hurt our brain right now. So today is I don't know. You tell
Well, today's unique. We are broadcasting to you from the Presbyterian Downtown Hospital in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't know if this is sanctioned or not, so you probably shouldn't tell anyone. But we're coming from Robyn's room, and we are here to talk about all of the fun things that we can be grateful for.
So that beeping in the background, that is actually, if you are hearing that, that is the sound of medical equipment in action. While I may look sometimes like a nurse, I do not play one on TV, nor are we on a set. So, I was just saying, do you want to shut the door since the nurse
Yeah, I
did?
was going to. Yes. I will do it. And knock my water over.
So anyway, we are so glad you're here today, and so glad we're here. You know, you're always in gratitude when you're in the hospital or something's up. So for everyone out there wondering, I am fine. I am good. I am in the hospital. I've had a lovely week stay while Gil took care of the teenager. I know it's a baseline plan, but what can you do? Sometimes you got to just reach out. So no, but all things.
So wait, so you took a vacation while I had to work hard? Was that what that was?
I don't know.
It seems like it at some level.
It is when they're waking you up at 4 o'clock in the morning, telling you, "Oh, that vein's very tiny." I really had never wondered, but thanks. So anyway, it's great. It's all good. But I'm fine. Nobody needs to worry. We'll talk more about that because our show's about gratitude and maybe other stuff.
Gratitude in the midst of life.
Yeah, gratitude RT, real time.
Yes.
So I can ask you how your week is, but I pretty much know.
You do. So we've been, we of course mentioned the hospital, but this is the one that is a half an hour from the house instead of the one that is half a minute from the house. So that means there's an hour of driving every day just to come here and go home, which is not huge, but it's just another hour, you know? So we've had that. What else have I had? I've had a teenager that's constantly hungry and wants to eat all the time. And we have had all of the stuff that you really needed available to you. which has been really good. We started this adventure last Tuesday, a week ago Tuesday, which is why we weren't on the air last week. So we actually went into an urgent care and ended up being sent to the hospital. So, and that's where we've been ever since, right?
Right,
So
because I walked in the door and they said, "Oh, your oxygen level's at 71," and
that's not good.
that's not good.
It's not good.
They were pretty worried.
Yeah.
But I wasn't.
That's good. You've been amazingly not bothered by any of it. And in some ways, I don't know how you do it, because I know your knees still hurt. It's still hard to move around, but a lot of the stuff that was going on has been addressed, and it's better. But I don't know. How's it going for
What are you
you?
gonna do? If you don't, I don't know. It's really a place where I implement our teachings and my beliefs and things. It's like if I I go back to like first classes, and I think I did this before that, but it's like if I can't, fake it till I make it, it's like, and if I can't be with what is, it's like I really, in the midst of all this, there wasn't pain. There wasn't pain around getting me here, and in my mind, it wasn't life threatening. I get that in medical minds, oxygen is a big deal to the brain, but I it wasn't. It didn't feel.
You didn't feel horrible.
I didn't feel horrible, and I was able to go to an urgent care, and for them to say, "Okay, we're going to the hospital," and we went. You know what I mean? It's like all needs were met in every moment.
And like right now with Martha sending light and wellness and love, that's been another major portion of what's been going on, is those like her who are out there just holding the space for Robyn's health, her body, for a family, for all of that, which has been hugely wonderful. And we are in wonderful gratitude for that.
We are. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you so much for Martha, and thank you for those that I can't see. I know we've gotten some emails and texts from people, or connections from people that say, I watched your show today and you're really doing a lot out there, and thank you for doing that. And we can't always see you or who you are or where you are, but we can feel you, and we appreciate you being out there, even though sometimes we look up at the number and it doesn't show, and we're like, oh, no one's here, but you're there. So we appreciate that. So thank you so much. I think it brings a whole new meaning to gratitude, because it's more than being grateful that there were enough. There's enough of something, or that something trivial, like daily gratitude, and gratitude where you're in a hospital where people are making life and death choices. So it was interesting to be there and to be here, and yeah, and just to feel the rest of what was going on around me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been impressed just with the amount of care and et cetera that you've received here. Sometimes, it feels a little frustrating, like we're waiting around for things to happen. But the interactions on a regular basis of people coming in and out of the room are very positive and friendly and helpful and encouraging and all those things. And I'm grateful for all of that. We're in a room here that rivals the embassy suites. Okay, not quite.
Well, hey,
But
come on, metaphysician. If I'm gonna manifest to stay in a hospital for a week, you gotta bump up the volume.
well, look, tell them what you manifested yesterday.
You tell them, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness, I think that oxygen level still needs to be working. So yesterday we had a 5-foot round table in here, and we had 6 or 7 people sitting around it playing cards with Robyn.
It's funny because I get very funny. I'm like, yeah, I don't really need anyone to visit. We don't need to tell people. I don't have it posted on my Facebook. So, it's also very awkward to say to people when they say, "Hey, how are you?" to say, "Oh, I'm in the hospital." But it's like a catch-22 between, oh, I don't know. I don't want to announce it to the world and then everybody's like, "What happened?" and holding their own vision of what should be happening and why it's happening.
Right.
I like to just stay in my secure baseline, world. So yeah, so I love games. I love games and cards and um, if you say Vegas to me, that's an aphrodisiac. It's very romantic. So a couple people had called and I was like, "Oh, don't worry, you don't have to come," because I know nobody really likes to come to the hospital anyway. Most people anyway. And somebody called when we were playing cards. I said, "Oh, we're playing a card game," and they're a card player. And they were like, "Oh, I can come over." So she came over, and then we usually do a game night day or night once a month. And she was gonna do it, and I was like, "Well, let's do it here." So lo and behold, the tables came, the quarters came because we bet real money, and it was super fun. It was super fun.
It was fun. Very fun.
Yeah.
And an opportunity to remember once again what we're grateful for.
What we're grateful for.
Because all of this could be we could be pretty whiny about this if we wanted to be, because some of the stuff that they tell us sounds ominous. And, we're just not buying into it that, we're just saying, okay, so that's what it appears like. And what is it that we need to do to shift that appearance?
Well, I actually have a little bit of a theory.
You have a theory?
On my stay.
Okay.
I know, I haven't.
This has not been shared with me,
This
folks.
is
It's breaking
news. Well, it's breaking news. I was seeing if I could, where I could come with it, because I declared at the beginning of the year that this was going to be my best year ever. My best year ever. So repeatedly, I am welcomed with the thought, like, is this something that will make it your best year ever? Are you making it your best year ever? And much like, what do you call them? New Year's resolutions. After like the first month, I was like, maybe I should let that thought go. And I'm like, nope, you said it. It should be your best year ever. So when this happened, I was like, the first thing I thought was, oh, yeah, I get it. It's your choice. You can make it a spa year, or you can make it a stay in the hospital. And I think, that, we all learn each our own way. So it's just a reminder that, on all levels, about taking care of yourself.
Well, what struck me as you were saying that was the reality that in this best year ever, we have had a car accident, totaled our car, which propelled us to find a chiropractor who is addressing all kinds of body issues that we either didn't realize were there, we had ignored, or we thought were already too far gone to deal with.
Right. Right.
And then from that, we've come here because of things showing up in you, and now suddenly we're addressing all kinds of things that are that we have not been aware of, that have not stood out, or that we have ignored up until this point. And so in a sense, I feel like we're on that track I'm grateful that we're on the track to get to the place where, I think all of this rejuvenation of health is part of the best year ever.
Well, yeah. And
I realized the spa might have been a more fun place to do it.
part of the best year ever, it's true. I mean, like, that makes perfect sense what you're saying. And look where the year ends.
Yeah.
What we have a special thing planned for the end of the year. Not ready to reveal it yet. You'll have to keep tuning in. But yeah, so that makes total sense, though, that it would end in a celebration. You know what I mean? It would end in, but that makes total sense what you said, Gil, because spiritually, yeah, not that there's not work we could do, and we could certainly up our practices and our game and all of that, but yeah, in day-to-day living, we're okay. We do okay. It's the taking care of ourselves that we haven't integrated as well into the thing of life.
And I think too, it's partly learning to trust. For me, in my case, it's standing in the trust that it's okay, and that what we need is provided. Because where I'm sitting right now, that looks a little bleak. But I think part of the lesson, part of the opportunity, is to really get that in a new way, and I'm looking forward to that, frankly.
Oh, okay. So we're looking forward to getting it in a new way, and we're taking you with us. So that is going to be our good news segment for the week. So generally we do a space where we talk about what's good in the world. And that's what's good in the world this week, staying focused on that. And I just want to offer for that you take the opportunity to make that your truth as well. You find that place where you can up your game, where you don't have to end up in the hospital, but we all know the places where we can make a difference or say no to things or do things differently. So, yeah, that's my challenge. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we will be back. It's what we do. And let us know, Martha and whoever else is out there, where you're watching us from. And we hope to.
Questions you have, thoughts you want to throw in, we'd love to chat with you.
Yeah, we'd love to talk back and forth with you. When we come back, we'll continue the banter and go on to a new topic. All right.
Gratitude.
A new topic of gratitude. All right. We'll see you in a few minutes right here on New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back. I am Robyn Rice Olmstead.
And I'm Gil William Olmstead, and we are your hosts of Rockin
Rockin
the
the
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We didn't even plan that.
That's
Anyway,
excellent.
hello, we are back. We want to welcome Mark. Hi, Mark. Good afternoon. Good to see you here. Um, yeah, so good to have people here. Um, I was going to say something and it's gone out of my head.
Okay. Well then,
So,
we'll have to move on and come back to it later. Oh look, Michael thinks he can help.
oh, I know. Oh, what is it?
Well, I just wanted to say that legal department just sent me a note here and said that you are doing this of your own free accord here, and you are not forced to do this program today by either myself or Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski. And thank you so very much for your support.
They didn't mention that small clause that said if I miss a show, my pay drops.
I'll have to check with HR about that. I think you have some PTO time.
There you go. There you go.
Now, again, I could be wrong, but I will, among the other things I can do here, I can give a call to HR and see whether or not. But you are a Hollywood trooper. The show must go on.
I am a trooper. I am a Hollywood trooper. Here, I'll give you a fun fact for your trivia games. Do
Okay.
you know that on the day that my mom passed away, I had just graduated high school, but I was in the summer shows and I did the show anyway. I mean, in my part, you didn't need to be me. Somebody could have easily been me as well. It
Okay.
was, I said, but I was like, no, the show must go on. Yep,
Okay.
it's true. I'm a little locked into that.
All right. Well, listen, I'm just again, we just wanted everyone to know that myself and Reverend Dr. Brzezinski, we are not forcing them on today. We did not threaten them with either loss of pay or loss of program. That they are doing this of their own free will.
And against medical advice. So
No, this is probably the best medicine is
yeah, it is.
on the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I wanna answer the questions that are out there. It was asked, do I get a bedtime chocolate? Yeah, I do actually. There's a lot of food going on here. You get to mix and match. I have food piled up. But I get to choose, and I can choose yogurt and fruit and brownies and all different things. So yes, the sweet treat for my nighttime enjoyment is available.
Yes.
There's all kinds of fruit. It's kind of cool. That part's cool. I don't think I've had this much fruit in a week, like a little serving, but I've had mandarin oranges, pears, grapes, apples. There's something else important, but I don't know what it is. But anyway, I mean, but they pretty much have every fruit except watermelon.
So isn't that great? We can be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I wasn't lying yesterday. I said to my friends that I was grateful for having cream of wheat in the morning because I'm not going to get up and fix cream of wheat. I mean, I wasn't before this anyway.
You might be now.
I might be now.
There is a box in the closet.
There is, because I thought I would. But I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's nice to have somebody bring you 3 meals a day. I haven't eaten 3 meals a day in my life.
This is probably really good for you.
Yeah.
See, this is another thing to be grateful for. You may actually feel like demanding it when you get home. Now that could be a problem as well. We'll see how that goes.
All right. And the other question we have here, the big question is, when and where is the ordination party going to be? Because If you haven't joined us in a while, or if you're new, we had breaking news 2 weeks ago that I don't know how they came up with a panel that passed Gil William Olmstead, but he is an ordained, licensed science of mind,
Science of Mind minister.
CSL. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
He's a bigwig. So we're supposed to have a big party,
and we're figuring out when that'll be. We don't know when it'll be yet. There's a sort of a possibility of an October-ish time. I think perhaps we'll do it during the balloon fiesta, and we'll go up in a balloon for it. What do you think? I think that we could have several balloons close to each other and do it that way. That would be fun.
be entertaining. And
we could go up in the Darth Vader balloon.
Robert will come and film it, and we can broadcast. Dr. Brzezinski will film the
craziness,
the ordination. Yeah, so maybe in the fall is the thought.
Yeah.
And you are all invited. And
at the moment, I am working through being grateful for all the stuff that's happening right now in the ministerial world. So, there's plenty to chew on right now without making big plans. So I'm kind of in that mode. Plus, there's obviously all of this. So I'm grateful we're getting it all together. It's going to be in a perfect divine space when we're ready.
And I'm ready.
You're ready.
Just for the.
Are you ready to go home yet?
I am ready. I mean, I'm not. I don't hate being here. I'm a little tired of sitting in my bed, and I know more about the Golden Girls than I ever have. I've watched so many episodes of the Golden Girls. Yeah.
So apparently there's another question about alcohol at the ordination. And of course, no, there could never be alcohol at an ordination. That would be sacrilegious. But at an after party, we may have it. No, I don't know. We gotta deal with where is it going to be and what's okay there. So there you go. Don't have that answer yet. Depends on location.
Location.
Aha.
All right. So kick us off with our topic, Senor.
Well, the topic was just thinking about this idea of being grateful in the midst of life. In the midst of all the things that happen and all the frustrations, disappointments, unexpected things. I think this particular week kind of brought forth the unexpected. Like, what do you do when you don't expect to spend the week in the hospital? What? How do you respond to that kind of thing, and how do you maintain positivity, if you will, in that? And I think the thing is, one of the things for me has just been taking it one day at a time, doing it each day, and not being concerned about, well, now we've been here 3 days, now we've been here 4 days. What's next? And it's like, no, we don't have to worry about that, because it doesn't matter. I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be what it is. And frankly, I've never, in recent time, ever been in a hospital situation where they wanted to keep you so darn long.
No, I know. I thought they.
I mean, it's not like you've been in ICU and bleeding out or something. I mean,
Right. I thought they tried to get you out.
Yeah.
This one, it seems like long.
People go in for hip replacement, and it's like in the afternoon they're supposed to be up and walking, and by 8 a.m. the next morning they should be home, if that long, if not 8 p.m. that night.
Well, I agree with you on the one level that I don't feel like I've had I don't feel like there's been a time thing about getting out of it. I don't wake up like wanting to go home even. I'm okay with it until today.
Until today?
until today, I was, well, but mostly because I don't need to be here,
Mhm.
you know? And so, and I got things to do. I got Friday night planned. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like it was okay until it wasn't. But what you say makes sense in that it's really about taking, being okay where you are in the moment
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And letting it be.
and letting it be.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. So that's been an activity of the week, is to go with the flow. And there's been days when we've come in the morning. Hi, Liz. Liz is here too. Hi, Liz. We've come early in the morning and stayed until late at night, and times when I've come late in the afternoon and stayed only a few hours. It just all depends on what's going on and how much, but every day we get to see each other. That's good. Yay. Every day we get to see each other. So that's another positive thing. And every day I know that whatever's going on, it's like they're checking out something else. So what I do know is when we go home, there won't be a lot of stuff that's like possibly wrong with you. I mean, with your body, that we don't know about. I mean, it's not like they haven't checked a bunch of stuff. So it doesn't feel like a vacuum anymore. Like, well, what's going on? Why about
You
this or
feel
why about that?
informed. You
I
feel
feel
like you have
informed. Yeah, we have information. We know what's going on, what's happening, and we can know how to move forward from there and stand in the knowingness that all of that is BS anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because I don't know how informed I feel.
Okay.
I mean, so it's interesting that you say that. I mean, it's just an interesting perspective to have. But maybe that's because I think I'm better at living in the unknown than you are.
Oh, now that's just rude.
No, it's not. It's just true. It's just true. I don't ask why that much, and
No.
I don't ask why or how, and I mean, which is the same reason I didn't just take my machine last night and put it together and do it myself. Because I didn't know how. Because I knew you were here. So I would have gotten out today had I slept with the new sleep machine they gave me, but I've never used the sleep machine. And so when the guy came to set it up, Gil was here, so I let him listen.
Right. She sat and pretended she was listening while I listened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Why? I mean, I don't need to retain what I don't need.
Right.
And not that I couldn't. I could have set it up. I really could have, but I didn't. So.
Okay. Well.
Anyway, that's just the sidebar to, what we need to know or whatever we were talking about.
Yeah. So what else are you grateful for around, this idea of unexpected? And, where have you found that to show up for you during this time?
That's a good question. I'm grateful. I want to say I'm grateful for my friends, the ones that know and the ones that don't know. I'm sorry. I haven't felt like calling you. So I know
Or
that
anyone.
I should. Well, hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm at the hospital. What? It just seems like a silly conversation to me. But I understand. I understand if someone did it to me, I'd be like, what? So I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for, those that know and have just happened to call at the right time or ask the right question, and get the right answer. I'm aware, this is separate, to do with gratitude. I'm aware of how hard it is to talk to me. how hard it is to get the answer you want from me. Well, Liz, you might be able to relate from that to that. But you know how like people ask questions and I just answer, but I don't always give the answer I know they want, you know. And so,
That's really interesting.
for
Since-
example,
For example, go ahead.
do you want to say why it's interesting?
No, go ahead. We'll go back to that.
Okay, so for example, a friend of mine called and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were still in the hospital." And I said, "Yeah," because I had told her because she called on the day. And she said, "Because I talked to so and so said that you were good." And I said, "Yeah." And she said, I talked to Christopher. He said, "No, I don't think she's in the hospital because she I talked to her and she said her legs were good." Well, that's what I said. He said, "How are your legs?" I said, "They're good. They were good." I didn't mention they were in the hospital. I mean, you know, and so sometimes like I just don't want to go. You know what it is, and I know I've always been like this on one hand, but I know even more since science of mind and all spiritual things. I have little tolerance for the story unless I'm writing a screenplay. You know what I mean? But I do. I'm like, I don't want to hear the story because it's wah wah wah.
Right.
So,
Right.
what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just going to say how interesting it is that we struggle with a teenager who only answers a portion of the question. It seems a little reflective of your own.
No, that's different.
Oh, it is. Oh, of course it is.
No,
Okay.
being a teenager. Okay, so clearly my oxygen is fine. My memory is fine.
That's good.
He does not remember being a teenager where you just didn't need people in your business, and answering anything was, it was you just didn't want to. That has to do with I don't want to, and that has to do with not having people skills. Yeah.
And do you not feel I don't want to when you're talking to other people? I don't want to go into the story. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring it up because they'll ask me more questions.
Yeah, but it's a different. I don't want to. I don't know.
So isn't this great? We can be thankful for all the learning we get to have, all the things we get to discover. I get to discover how much I miss you, how much I wish you were there. Even though I know that because we were living apart for a while. But it's very different when someone is, in quote, they're in danger somehow. There's some thought with the hospital that means there's danger lurking, which it's not really the case, but it shifts the thought pattern.
But there's times when I just don't want to hear what everybody has to say, and I don't want to go into the story.
Right.
So if it had been said, how are your legs? Well, my legs are good, but I'm in the hospital. Oh no, what are you in the hospital for? Oh, I was having. I don't even know how to tell that story.
I don't even know why you're here.
It's true, but there's a level at which it's true. I know all of it, and none of it is really the reason I was here.
Right.
On the same level. So then I have to talk about it. So then I enforce the story about whatever. Right. I wasn't, my oxygen was this, that, and the other thing. Oh, and then what did they say? And what do you say? And what are you doing next? Oh my God. That makes me want to go to the hospital. No, but you know what I mean? It's like, that's not, it's not the story I want to tell.
Right.
So I think that's an interesting topic that we should talk about on a show, is like really like detaching from your story and how much of that is cordial information for your family, friends, and loved ones. Right. And how you can, whatever, tell that story without going into that drama.
But isn't that, for me, I mean, that's part of the gratitude, part of the being positive has just been telling people, well, I know she's where she needs to be, because that's what's going on. Instead of going into the story of, well, there's this symptom and there's that and there's the other thing, and oh my gosh, they're concerned about this, and it's like, no, she's where she needs to be, and we're walking through the process.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. I mean, I think it's probably like 6 of one, half dozen of another that it can work that way, or
oh my gosh, that was a Dorisism. That's my mom, Doris.
but you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it's either I tell the story or they tell the story. So
yeah.
And and we all, and I'm not saying this to belittle anyone's process. Everybody walks through their process the way that they need to, and does what they need to do. Liz says you can keep your info private. You don't have to tell everyone anything or nothing at all. Yeah, I am a firm believer in that. It's not. I don't know. Am I a private person?
You are in some certain ways, yeah.
But it's not so much about keeping my information private. I don't really care who knows. I just need it to be accurate.
Right. Well, and you don't want it to become you. I think that's your thing. I think you're not as worried about your private information and people finding out. It's about
defining me.
Defining you. It's about information that becomes, oh, Robyn is this. Yeah, Robyn's head has been smashed. I mean, whatever that thing is that somebody tells this story, and now like everything comes from that.
Well, it's like in the hospital, the doctor said, you have this, you have that, you have this going on and that going on. And it's so interesting that this isn't happening because of all of that. Because generally, they get the end of that. But she couldn't make that based on the piece that was missing. And of course there's not, because that's not what's really happening. I mean, in our alternate universe, I'm not, and kudos to medical science, I'm all for it. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying that we don't always, like she said, wow, you have superpowers. Yeah, so we all do. They've told me that a few times, different people in the hospital here, based on, I was using, 5 liters, quarts, what is it? Gallons?
Of what?
Of air.
They had you on 7 liters of oxygen at one point.
7 liters of oxygen. So 5 was using like 5 liters of oxygen, and then when they came back the next day, it was half a liter.
Somebody turned it way down, and she was still doing just fine.
Just fine. And they're like, "That's unheard of." Yeah. Okay. And hi, have you met me? Have you met us? Have you met my tribe? That. I mean, that it's like I don't want to be defined. It's like, don't judge my joy. I don't want to be defined because I'm making a face or I'm looking a certain way or whatever. Granted, obviously there's telltale signs of things that are accurate, but
right. Well, and I just want to say, to Liz, that idea of, you can keep your info private, and yeah, we all have that choice, and I think the big question for all of us is why do we do that? Like I said, Robyn doesn't want to be defined. Doesn't want other people to create a story around whatever the thing is and then make that who she is. And that's one thing. It might be coming from a place of fear. I don't want people to find this out about me, and that's another whole rabbit hole to go down. And is that really a good place to be? And it could just be the simple thing that whoever it is none of their business. They don't need to know.
Well, but I think what it is my experience has been that generally, for me, it's not the truth,
Right.
So, if somebody sees something and then goes, oh, you must feel horrible.
Right.
I'm like, no, I I don't, and I haven't, but, or, oh, you must be, and fill in the blank, because, oh, you're dehydrated. You must be, like, it's funny to me that, oh, it's just funny. The whole thing's funny. I'm not going to go into specifics because then you're going to tell me about what I was doing.
Well, I was thinking about what you were doing. I was thinking about for you at some level, even the stuff that's going on, you're not buying into it. I mean, you're not buying into it. You're not getting freaked out. You're not whatever. You're just, it just is. And I think that pretty powerful thing, to be in that space of it's just is. And I think that's where the gratitude, I think the gratitude for me is that we have all found our way to this spiritual place where we understand things in a very different way. And our diagnoses and prognoses and bodies and our actions and our thoughts, none of it defines us. All of it is just what it is, and generally speaking, we are more than this, whatever it is.
I think that's the question. Is something defining you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you letting something define you? Because I think people do allow, whether it's, oh, I don't really meditate, or
Right.
I don't do it the right way.
So I'm not strong enough in my faith because I don't meditate
my practice
enough. And yeah.
So are you letting something define you? I think that should be our topic next week.
What are you letting define you? Or should it be, are you letting
I'm
something
thinking
define
of
you?
like the Capital One commercials. What's in your wallet? What's
Right.
defining you?
What's defining you? Yes. Are you okay? If you have this in your wallet, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
What?
709. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. That was our snack delivery.
Snack delivery on schedule.
The vegetable tray with hummus.
Nice.
You just put your big head in my screen.
I just looked around my screen to see your hummus and vegetables.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that that is a good takeaway for today, like the gratitude and really, I don't know, being authentically grateful
Mm-hmm.
for everything that is, even the stuff that doesn't look great. And God knows we can generally find plenty of that.
Yes, we can. It is true. Whew. Well, I'm grateful that hopefully this time here is concluding soon, that we will be taking you home in the next afternoon or day or something.
So that's the challenge today. So the challenge from the doctor was if I could sleep with the new sleep machine, then I could go home. So when it came time to set up the new sleep machine, the nurses don't know because it's not their machine. So I couldn't do it last night. So I told her, so if my husband comes and I take a nap, can I go home after that? And she's like, as long as I know you slept. I was like, okay, so after this, I want you to all join together and send me sleepy vibes. And I'm going to take a nap and hopefully I'll be home by dinner.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Could be disappointing.
I'm sure I'll be like, oh, what did I do? I should have stayed the rest of the night. But I miss my dogs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's it. So gratitude. Just look out today, see where you can find it, and
know that it's everywhere. It's everywhere we look. We are being blessed. We are being taken care of. The universe is conspiring for our good, no matter what it looks like.
yeah. It's true. It's even right here. I'm sure you guys have been looking at this lovely,
The new earring you have?
lovely, what do you call it? Accessory.
Yeah, accessory.
Yeah, this is taking my oxygen. It's
Oxygen sensor.
like a clip, like a tape thing on my ear. It's crazy. I will say, being in a hospital is crazy now. Everything is like so streamlined, and yeah, it's just an interesting place to be. And I would prefer not to be here again soon.
All right. So thank you for rocking love with us today. This has been fun. Next week, we'll hopefully be broadcasting from our studios at the house or at the center, the spiritual center, one of the two. And
What spiritual center?
Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, or as our producers put up, from the Robyn and Gil Animal Rescue Studio, which is at our home. So we look forward to that. We look forward also to having some more time to think about what our show is going to be about. What did we say it was? You just said it, and it was really good. Okay.
Story. Don't let your story define
What's
you.
defining you? What's defining you?
What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? Oh, maybe that's the title. Although we might get sued. But that would be, we'll have time to really bring that to you and explore it a little deeper and have some fun with it too. So we look forward to having you all back again next week. We're here on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, noon Pacific.
So take that out. Be grateful. Look for where you can find the gratitude. And if you've enjoyed this at any level and you're up for giving a donation, please visit our New Thought Media Network .org, and you'll get to see all the other shows you could listen to and all the other people and all the fun things going on. And there is a place to donate. And we just want to thank you, because we are having an amazing year. We're participating in so many things happening around the globe, and really bringing people together, which is the goal. So be part of the team. And you already are part of the team. Be part of the team on a different level. And that's it. We look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you to our producer, Michael Mangus, for producing and doing what he does best. And if you want to see him again, because you thought he was so cute when he popped on the screen, you can see him on Friday nights on Fireside Chat at 6 p.m. Central Time, Mountain Time. I don't know where I am. I'm on a journey. Anyway, whatever. It's all on the website. When you go to donate, you'll see it. And we'll see you back here next week on Rockin the Love. Thanks, everybody.